Hello YouTube, it is Damien, it is Sunderland, it is Bright Lights, it is episode 21. It's a bit of an episode where we're going to go through a lot of things, but the first thing I'm going to say is that there is a follow from Jackson for the win. Get your Alan Pardew's out. For those that don't know, we are live on Twitch. Jackson coming in clutch with the plug. There we go. Link in the description below. Also to follow our Twitter as well, so you know you do go live, so you can watch all the craziness that has gone on in this stream live. We've been live for over 3 hours. It's 11:30 at night, and we're going to continue going. It's the first game of the season. We got Bristol on the 1st of August, but we got a few things to talk about before we get into there. For those that haven't watched episode 19 and 20, spoiler alert, we didn't go up. We choked the league. We then choked the playoffs. Well, we didn't really choke. We got FM'd in the second game. The first game, we could have probably lost by a few goals. Why can't I ever score penalties in this game? Really. Don't worry, we miss penalties too, don't we, YouTube and stream? We've seen a few of them. Anyhow, you might be asking me, Damien, you started the budget with 1 mil overall budget, 5 mil in the transfer budget. How do you have more money than you don't? We've made a couple of sales. But we have, I promise you, we've made signings. But we will have to talk about the transfers and know what's going on. Yes, we've made signings, but we've made some sales as well, and some big sales too. We're going to get onto them. Joe Paluzzi actually went out because I've actually got that many midfielders and that many young midfielders now at the club that I didn't need this guy. So to get him out for, I think it was 2.1 up front, we're guaranteed another 1.2 mil over time. And then we got some clauses in there. I thought was really good. You know, I didn't want his wage on the wage bill, so I got rid of him. Lyndon Gooch was complaining about first team football, as we know last year. We've seen that as well. Sold him on. Not too bad for 1.9 mil. Took it up front. Always not too bad. George Hungerman was the same. You know, with Luazana now with the work permit, there is no need for George now. He is not a bad player, is George. But unfortunately for us, just never really playing at the level. He's played one game for Hull and had a worldie, which is great. But for 1.4 mil, obviously was really good. Chris Maguire, pretty sad because we know how much we all love Chris Maguire here in the stream or on the in the YouTube. You know, but at 31 with a year left on his contract, to get 900k up front for him was really good. He was really happy about going as well. You know, and we have a good relationship still. And there we are. There goes Chris. Tom Flanagan, obviously, Lico Neen, we obviously remember from last year. They had a loan which expired, and when it expired, they actually had a future free to play. The same thing now is with Donald Love. They're paying 100% of his wages, and he's got a 3.4 mil release fee at Wigan. But it's not mandatory. It's optional. I'm hoping they will pay it. Reece James has gone out with the same sort of close with Ross County, but they're not paying any of his wages. And Brian's gone out on loan because I have so many midfielders now. I want us to make sure this guy gets towards his potential. I thought keeping him for another year was not good enough for his development at 23. So we got him on the loan. That's the outs. You look at the ins and you go, Damien, what have you done here? Look how many people you've signed. This is why. We haven't got a good regen youth intake in 2 years, and our under 23s aren't in the top flight. Under 23s also had, right, this is, you know, not including anyone over the age of 23, had 4 players in it. So I've gone out and have signed anyone with good potential in at this club. All of a sudden, under 23s look like this. There's a few lads without a work permit, but our under 23s look like this. So we have got some youth with some development, and for the long-term future of Sunderland, it's quite bright. Hence the series name, Bright Lights. See what I did there? Anyway, anyhow. The first one we're going to start with is, we're just going to go in any order because it doesn't really matter too much because our best signing was a free. Reece Devine was released by Man United, has some potential at left back, was going to be our backup left back option, but we found a better left back that we'll talk about in a second. Reece is not bad, very good physicals. Fine on the 23 level, he's not bad. Sergi Sampi, I signed for the first team, you'll see why in a second. Released from Barcelona, didn't want to come to me when I offered him 6 months ago, didn't want to come to me 3 months ago. In the last month, he go, you know what, I don't have a club, Sunderland will do. To get him here is not bad, there's one problem, he has a release fee of 12 mil and he's worth 10. We need to get that ASAP. But we're playing him as a regista because as a regista, he's sensational. Great first touch, great passing, great technique. This guy can pick out a ball. I think he could be quite the player, and it's probably him and Marcus Thuram are our 2 best players at the club. Then we got Rowan McDonald. McDonald here was another one that was let go by Man City, I believe. It was Man City? Yeah, there he is. Just once again, you know, he doesn't have the determination, which I don't like, but an English guy that, you know, has got good amount of potential. Once again, for the under 23 is not too bad. Felice Crucio is the other left back I was talking about. This guy came on a backup contract for 5k a month. You know, per week, sorry, wages, right? He's incredible. He's nearly as good as Oviedo, and he can play as a wing back, and he can play up, as a winger. His guy off the bench, unreal. We can now rest Oviedo knowing that we have an actual left back. It is quite good. There we go as well. Danny Baff, everybody knows who Danny Baff is. On a rotation contract for 7.5k, that's peanuts. This guy probably is now our vice captain, by the way. This guy could probably start. It's probably one of our best centre-backs. Really good in the air. We had problems with set pieces. I'm hoping this guy will help fix them. And plus being homegrown was really good for us. There we are. I made a new account, Jackson, for the win. There you go. That's good to know. That's all the frees, though, all done, right? Mark Godin was the first player who spent money on in terms of value going up. £550 for this guy. He has a bit of potential playing at TNS. He was before in the Welsh Premier League. Was recommended to me by his agent. Looked at him and said, you know what? It's not bad. His determination's a bit low. But, with all these kids that have low determination, we can obviously go and train them and tutor them up. Something that I haven't done just yet. We'll do it after the first game. I wanted to get into this first game. He's obviously got very good... we have another follow here. Luke Steffens, 1893. Thank you, Luke. Get your Alan Partridge out. There we go. Your follower number 307, I reckon. There we are. Proudy there. I'll add a new channel for it, anyway. Your streams. There we go. Here if you're streaming. There we are. And big shout out to Proudy, because Proudy's just gone, do that, Damien. There we are. Alright, back. There we go. A little bit of shout out for Proudy on the YouTube. There we are. But anyway, as you can see, the TNS guy is not bad. I'm really sad that we don't have a work permit for him. Anyone that doesn't have a work permit, the reason we signed him is that A, they were cheap, B, they have a lot of potential, C, if we doesn't get a work permit in a while, we can sell him on for profit. We picked this guy up for 59k. That's a steal. This guy, once he gets a work permit, which I don't think is going to be too hard in the future, like Luisano, 6 months, work permit, fine. Very good heading, marking, tackling, great determination. Physically, he's a monster already. This kid could be quite the goods, the 20-year-old from Brazil. The next Brazilian is Esepi. I picked this guy up only because it was 130k. I think this guy could grow into quite a little bit of a player, and we can sell him on for a lot of profit, a couple mil. That's the whole reason we brought Esepi in. Who else we got? Will Burgess is the person we paid the least fee for, but is now the new hot prospect at the club, and you can see why. As a right back to back up Linus, determination, sensational, great physically. Good night, Mum. Thank you. There we are. Great physically, great marking, good tackling, decent in the air as well for a fullback. Need to work on him getting forward, but he's okay. There we are. And he's not too bad. Chris Robertson there. 325k for an English talent with 5-star potential. That is dirt cheap for anyone that's ever done an English save. They usually price you out at like 14 mil, whatever, off the top of my head. Great determination, which means he's going to grow. I'm sorry there's a lot of signings, Twitch chat. They want to get into this game so bad. I do too. He's also very good on the ball, 12 passing. At 16, he could be one for the future for sure. We then got Giannis in. Giannis is going to come in a third choice. Giannis is already at the level of Zach Clough and Dennis, according to Moraz. There, as you can see, right? So he's already at a level. He's capped by at the under 20 level for France, which for everybody on plays FM knows that's quite hard to do because that under 20 side is insane with regens because France just produce everything. He's just really good physically. He's a physical monster. 187 under 23 level is going to bang in the goals. I'm letting no one go out on loan. I want those under 23s to get promoted from League 2 to League 1. And then last but not least, and this took me a long time to do because before I get into Alex Smith's, who's a goalkeeper. Where's Match? He deserves a shout out. He has grown into such a decent keeper for this level. If the game doesn't want to load. There we go. Look how well-rounded he is. He's sensational. It took me in the stream 15 minutes, I reckon, to make a decision to sign Smiths, who we're going to now know him as Smithy, right? Now, you might look at that and go, Damien, that's an easy decision. This Match is not that far off that. And he has years, he's got 10 years on him to grow into it. The determination was a factor, and that one-on-ones is just unreal. For a side that has conceded a lot in the past, he's not bad. The only thing about turning me off about Smiths, went to Cardiff got relegated. Stayed at Cardiff got relegated. Not really keeping a clean sheet. I will say, 7 clean sheet for a side that came bottom is not the worst. But there we are. That is the signings. So that means your team looks like this. This is our first team, I reckon. Smiths, Linus, Garcia, Koide, Oviedo, Sampa, Dylan, Luzano, Turam, Watmore, Dadasov. But all of a sudden, you can see the bench, and the bench has improved a heap. Burgess is a great option. Danny Bath's a great option. Crucio is a great option. Tarum's a great option. Max Powers on the bench. Yes, that was hard to do. Barley's not going to be on the bench. It'll be Liam Miller when he's back. He's back. He's back from international duty. Bang, done. He wasn't 2 days ago. There you go. And Zach Clough, that is it. Feel a little bit for Barley because Barley's not bad. I'm actually going to make him available for the under-23s as well. Oh, don't do that. He's going to get upset now. We've bottled it, everybody. Under-23s, where's Barley? Get him in, get him in, get him in. Get back in here. Move to the senior squad. Yes, please. There we go. Wanted to make him available, not thing for the under-23s. Apparently, we actually have a problem. Oh, we need one homegrown player on the bench, do we? We actually don't have one in the starting 11 because we actually moved the couple on. In that case, then Barley's going to come in for Liam Miller. That's fine. There we are. Barley, Liam Miller will obviously have a part as well, and Clough. Clough can play either side as well, and Crucio gives us an option on the right, on the left as well as a winger. So it's not too bad. Anyhow, the last thing we'll do before we get into the game is, as always, season preview. Newcastle came down, so they're basically evens. They're not even evens. You don't even get evens for Newcastle. Evens on Stoke and Huddersfield, who also came down. We're considered ninth. I think we're better than this. I actually think we're going to get in there. According to us, our key player is Duncan Watmore, who we rejected about 9 mil for. He's got a 13 mil release fee. Doesn't want to sign a new contract. Hopefully he stays. They reckon 4-4-2. It's close, but it's not 4-4-2 that we'll be playing. You move Lozano in here, and we get the other midfielder in, and we'll be okay. Let's take a quick drink, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and let's get into the game. The first game of the season, episode 21. Dadasov coming back from injury. He's not 100% fit. He had a concussion, but we'll play him. And let's get into it, eh? Twitch chat, what's the score prediction? Let me know. Are we going to beat Bristol on the opening day? For those that don't know, Bristol, who we lost 2-1 to, they FM'd us a little bit in episode 19. If we got a point there, we would have got promoted. Instead, they beat us. Anyhow, their team's fielding. Ward, Baker, Bailey Wright, the Australian. I know there's a few Australians in the chat. He's not bad, Bailey. Good leadership. Martin Kelly from Liverpool. Reed, Vico, Pack, Besic. That's a pretty good pickup, actually, Besic at this level. Weirman and Brownhill. Obviously, that's us right there as well, and we'll get into it. Team talk, boys. You have to revenge what happened because I'm still annoyed at us dropping points against Bristol, or all 3 points, or just any point from Bristol. I'm going to ask my assistant, who's pretty good at, technical knowledge, and let's get into it. It's got to be Sunderland in the red and Bristol in that beautiful purple. I will admit, it's a nice colour scheme for FM. And there we go. Score predictions in the chat. Let's go. Tarum's already on it, though. They've given it away. Tarum in the Dadasov. Can we start the season on a high? No, we cannot. It would have been a nice way to start. Not even 30 seconds in. It could still happen. Dylan, Watmore. Highlight hasn't ended. Watmore to the byline. Can he whip it in? Back post. Tarum doesn't get up. And it'll find its way to Brownhill. And that will be that. First highlight now. Luke Steffens reckons we're going to win 2-1 against Bristol. I'll take that right now. Long. Garcia gets up. Heads it into Linus. Linus finds Dylan. Dylan then finds Watmore down on this right-hand side. Can he one-hit his man? He does. Getting to the byline. Whips in front post. That is so through fielding. And it's 1-0. Sunderland go 1-0 up 7 minutes in. Watmore with a nice little mazy run down the right. Good ball to the top of the 6-yard box. Dadasov once again at the front post. Flicks it in with a flick of his head. And it is 1-0 Sunderland. And there we go. We didn't score the first goal in the championship. I believe MK Donks did. But Dadasov there through fielding. And we are 1-0 up. Good signs for a side that I'm saying we have to win the league this year or else I failed. There we are. Corner. Oviedo. Ball in. Fielding claims, and claims well, to be honest, too. It was a very good catch from the keeper. That's definitely not the highlight, though. Anyway, fielding. With it still. More than his 6 seconds, but that's fine. Goes long, flicked into Weirman. Weirman now back over the Besic. Can we press in here? Besic's actually got numbers here with Brownhill, and they've got numbers in the box. Kone, can he stop the cross? He doesn't. I tell you what, Weirman with the effort, and Garcia with an inspired block there at the front post. And it's still 1-0 just. Clear-cut chance for Bristol. Ball gets headed away from Kone at the front post. Let that be the highlight, thank you very much. As Preston go 1-0 up in the top left-hand corner as well. And there we are. Jackson for the win reckons 2-2. Ted reckons we're going to win 3-1. There we are. Maybe. We'll find out. Anyway, Brownhill there. Oviedo gets it away, but it's a poor clearance too. Martin Kelly on the ball. Dadasov, the pressing forward, coming back into this hole, winning the ball. Bit like Roberto Firmino in real life. Dylan's ball over the top looking for Thuram. Doesn't find him. Luazano made a good challenge of it, and Thuram gets on it. Thuram wearing in the number 7 now. Definitely deserves it. Dylan over the top, looking for Oviedo. Doesn't find it. Can we press in on Martin Kelly? Can we press Fielding? We don't. And there's a good ball out from the keeper too. Pick Brownie up on the tit. And it founds Weirman in 1v1. Smithers, what a save. Smithy. And that's why we signed him. The 17 1-on-1's coming in huge. Coming in huge. The ball over top from Brownhill. What a ball it was too. Weirman in. There we go. Get to behind the goal. We know by now that I love a save being a goalkeeper coach. Look at this. Covers his angles nicely. Decent hit though from Weirman. Great save down to his left. Strong wrist as well. And it is still 1-0 Sunderland. 20 minutes played. Bit lucky though. I would love for us to press on here against Bristol. Dadasov gets it away as well. Brownhill now. Finds Vico, but he's offside. A bit more of an open game than I would have liked first game of the season, to be honest. I'm actually going to tell us here with the possession that we do have to just get a little bit more creative. Try and really make it 2-0, 3-0. Try and press on. Ball into Rum is poor. Can we win it in here? We don't. And it's a ball over the top again to Weirman. Wow, they're in again. Smith, 1v1. Another 1v1 save for Smith in the 17 1-on-1s. There we go. Riding our luck a little bit. Definitely thinking opposition instructions here. Might mark him a little bit tighter. We'll get that out the way as Smith comes and claims. That should be the highlight. So what we got to do is, where's Weirman? Just a little bit more tighter marking. There we go. Just make sure you pick him up, or else he's got to eventually score one of these. Looks like they're trying to play down the out wide. That's fine. We actually have a lot of numbers defending out wide, so it's all good. There is space for them to hit us on the break, though, and it has happened because we do bomb on our fullbacks. Luazano doesn't win it. He's not had the best of start here, Luazano. There we are. But he wins it back there. Dylan now. Sampri in this Regista role and his good passing. And talk about good passing. It's straight into the channel for Watmore. He whips it in. Up goes Thuram. Doesn't win it. Ward clears. Can we win this one in the air? Garcia does it easily. No, uncontested. Finds Luazano in the little hole. Dylan ball out to Oviedo. Oviedo finds Luazano into Sampri. Sampri finds Dylan. Dylan into Sampri. We just control possession from Sunderland. This is what we like. Luazano now. Back into Sampri. Picking the spaces nice. Dylan in the hole. Watmore coming inside into the half space. Dadasov! Oh, it was off the bar. Deserved the goal. It was a great Sunderland move. Zipping passes around. And we're only still 1-0 up. Barnsley go 1-0 up. Didn't get promoted. Lost in the playoff final to Leeds. And there we go, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Should be half-time here with us winning 1-0. Take a winning start, of course. And there we are. I don't think we need later scores up. We'll get the league table up. It's way too early for any of this, but, you know, we'll see how we go. Apparently, Oviedo's looking exhausted. Did he pick up a knock, maybe? I'm pleased how things are going. Keep it up. Early days of the season, I don't like telling lads it's complacent. Just keep the morale high. I think everyone knows this by now. Anyway, Garcia on the ball. Into Linus. Typical pointless highlight, but this won't be. Ward. Vico. Inside the pack. Pack now finds Besic. Besic now on it. Still with Besic. Still with Besic. Can we press in here and whip it in? Whip it in, nip it in. We don't win it though, but in the end, we force them long, good press, and Kone will recycle, and in the end, it will fall to Dylan, to Oviedo. Still hasn't recovered yet. I'm going to give him another 5 minutes, see if he gets his fitness up. If it doesn't go up, or it stays, or it gets to about 60, we're going to take him off and give Crucio his first actual debut. As we say this though, Oviedo down on the touchline, loops it back into Sampri, pushing forward the Regista. Top of the box to Dylan, hits it, Fielding, good save to his left. Hit it straight at Fielding though, it was at a nice height too. Would have been nice to see Dylan pick a corner. He doesn't score many, does Dylan. Anyway, Oviedo, front post, Dylan doesn't get there, Fielding with a nice good claim. It was pretty easy for the keeper. Oviedo's already back up to 70, so it looks like he's okay. Anyway, Mill will go on, Mill up as well. Diadu finds Pack. Pack now, Watmore. The clearance is poor, but it will fall to Dadasov. Dadasov holds it up nicely, the big boy. And then he gets tackled by Ward as they put the Mickey on him. Ball over the top. Kone, though, wins it. Dylan's ball towards Thuram. Thuram doesn't win it. Luazano flicks on. Might fall to Thuram on the volley. He should have done better too. Fielding down low to his left. Easy save for the keeper. Dominating the game, but at the same time, it's, you know, we haven't put our chances away. Typical Sunderland performance. With that in mind, got to make a change. I'm actually going to get Zach Clough as the inside forward for Thuram. Zach Clough can play out there fairly decently. And that's our first change. Thuram not having his best of days, but I expect him to have better. There we go. Time's ticking away here. Still ticking away. I'm thinking about our second change, and now that I'm thinking about it, we're going to get Lozano off, and we're actually going to get Thuram on, of all people. We're actually going to get him on as a central midfielder on defend, and just really look to shut up shop a little bit in terms of getting people forward. And we should be okay. Try and slowly kill this game off a little bit. Time ticking away, though. 86. Oviedo just hit it. Curling back, but always wide. Still 1-0 up. Alright, we're now going to make our last change. And with our last change, we are obviously going to go a little bit less on the overlap. Obviously, time waste as much as possible and on a very defensive thing. We're going to be a bit more disciplined, dribble less as well so we can keep the ball. In transition, we're going to slow it down, hold our shape and just regroup. In possession, we're just going to drop back and invite a little bit of pressure. And we're going to obviously not use the offside trap. And Danny Buff's going to come in for Dadasov. And that will be the last change we make. There we go. Can we hold on? Just concentrate, boys. It doesn't even matter anyway. We're going to win on the opening day 1-0. We avenge what happened Reed. Thank you, Garcia. Full time. We're going to avenge what happened against Bristol City last game. If they scored then after I said that, I would have went ballistic. Instead, we win 1-0. Clean sheet. That's important because last year we conceded goals for fun. There was 2 games. We conceded 10 goals. Good win, boys. Well done. Going to continue that, obviously, and get into the next one, which is Bristol of Blackburn. But for everybody on YouTube, that's the end of episode 21. As always, though, link in the description below. Let us know. Link in the description below, sorry. Follow us on Twitch and on Twitter, so you know when we're going live. You get notification when you're going live, and you can come watch all the madness live. Let me know in the comments below if you think that we've done the right thing by, having a huge under 23. There's a lot of potential guys that we can make profit on. And what else are we going to say here in the ending here? I reckon we should win the league, but is that too ambitious? Let me know in the comments below. But thank you for watching here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I really need to blow my nose as well, so we're going to end this really short. From Damien, from Sunderland, and from Bright Lights, thank you for watching episode 21. Thank you and goodbye.